Holden getting underneath. Maltz, great catch by Bernhardt. Score! Hello, highlight reel.
Play like a champion today. Notre Dame with its first title in men's lacrosse.
Hello, college lacrosse fans. Welcome back to another episode of College Lacrosse Game Day. This week, we get ready for the first round of the NCAA tournament. We have 8 huge games on Saturday. We're going to cover each and every one of them. We're also going to talk a little bit about the PLL Draft that took place on Tuesday. To help us out, we bring in head coach of the defending PLL champions, Utah Archers, Coach Chris Bates. He's going to explain decisions behind his draft picks and also explain why none of us were drafted. Let's go. I'm joined by
Brett, Hayden, Mike,
and Dan. Cheers.
Quote, living the dream right now is John Basti. Sacred Heart University takes home the prestigious MAC Championship 11-5 over Manhattan. Goalie Alex Pazienza named the most outstanding player of the tournament. This marks the first NCAA playoff berth for the East Coast Pios in Division I lacrosse. Let's see how they fare against Albany.
Albany, a son of a Mormon, Utah wins the Atlantic Sun Conference for the second year in a row by beating Jacksonville 16-13. Steins finds the goal 5 times in the championship, earning him tournament MVP honors.
The Towson Tigers earned their 9th CAA championship just as I predicted. Shocking, Delaware 15-6. 3 was a magic number for senior defenseman Colby Barnes, as he had 3 CTs in the ship and was selected in the 3rd round of the PLL Draft by this week's guest. Tigers take on Syracuse in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
The big names of the Great Danes earn them one more game. Pacino and company win the American East title by beating Vermont 12-11. After an 0-4 start to the year, the Danes are now dancing.
Richmond kisses St. Joe's toes as they are crowned champions in the Atlantic 10 Conference. In a tie game at 11, the Hawks won the 4th quarter 6-2 to finish the Spiders off. Friend of the show, Levi Anderson, got drafted by the Redwoods with a 21st overall pick. Nat wouldn't lie. He chose the truth.
It's too bad the backdrop of these games was a construction site because the Patriot League tournament was beautiful lacrosse. After 2 overtime victories for Boston, they earned a spot in the conference championship against Coach Will Scudder's blazing hot Lehigh team. This came down to the wire, but Lehigh's defense, led by tournament MVP Luke McAuliffe, held on to edge BU 11-10 as a Boston podcast. Shout out Terriers. They will be back.
Georgetown are the perennial champions of the Big East. This one's number 6 for the Hoyas. They squeezed 11-10 past Villanova. Aiden Carroll named the most outstanding player of the tournament with 7 goals and 5 assists over the 2 games. They take on Penn State in the tournament opener.
Coulter Mackesy said it right here a couple of weeks ago. The louder the bark, the softer the bite. Princeton beat Yale for the 2nd straight week in the Ivy League semis. Then they shake the Quakers of Pennsylvania 18-11, earning them the Ivy League title. McMeekin was McMakin. Guys look silly at the X. He was the tournament MVP, and controversially, the Tigers are the lone Ivy League program to go dancing.
The Maize and Blue do what they need to do. Back-to-back Big Ten champions. Michigan beats Penn State 16-4. They were hotter than a pistol, said Joe Beninati. The Wolverines had 3 out of the 5 top point producers in the conference this year. Justin Tiernan had 53, Michael Boehm had 63, and Ryan Cohen had 65. Michigan plays Denver on Saturday.
ACUC, we all see ACC lacrosse on TV. Notre Dame flat out dominates this tournament. They beat Duke 16-6 for a beautiful trophy. More than 15 goal scorers over the course of 2 top 5 games. The first being a controlling win over Syracuse. All 4 programs have more lacrosse to play.
And now, Chris Bates, the head coach of the Utah Archers, a former coach at Princeton and Drexel, a legend of our game, a legendary coach, a great player, and now a great friend of the podcast.
Trying to get to McCardle. Clock is winding down. Caraway's going to get a look. Save made by Dobson. 0.6 left to go. Shot inside. Dobson is able to steer it aside. And Archers win the title.
Coach Bates, thanks so much for joining the show.
Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. You're on the move right now after last night's draft. Have to ask, though, are you currently looking for some beautiful real estate in the state of Utah?
There are worse things, man. It's we haven't had to sort of make that full transition, but I'm down. I'll see if my wife's ready. She wants to get the Airstream and start traveling cross country. So if we land there, there are much worse things.
Not a bad place.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was just actually out there for a ski trip, Park City. It's a beautiful place. I mean, there's like 5 national parks there. It's the best recreation state I think I've seen. So jealous.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, just some of the natural wonders, and unfortunately, I'm not a big skier, which isn't a popular sort of position there. But like Bryce Canyon and Zion, and it's gorgeous. It's amazing.
There's stuff to do for everybody there. You don't have to be a skier, coach. I promise.
All right, gotcha.
As long as you can pick up a stick and walk up a hill, I think you'll enjoy it. I have a lot of questions about that. Honestly, what's going to happen with the localization, I'll call it, of these teams, but that's one of the many things that happened over the offseason. We have a ton of questions about the draft that happened last night, specifically around your process for choosing players, player evaluation, but including things like the championship series being assigned to Utah. Would be great if you could just fill us in and tell us a little bit about what the offseason has been like as a head coach in the PLL who is defending a league title.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good place to start. We took a healthy dose of time to just sort of enjoy it. It's a long process and a long grind, like any season is. We had the unique opportunity to, kind of have climbed the mountain and enjoy sort of those fruits. And, there's something to that. But then you get back to work, really, and you realize, okay, as much as the coach hat is all consuming throughout the season, you got to put your GM hat on and figure out what's next. Are there retirements? Are there trades? The Champ Series thing we qualified for again, so that, putting that roster together is a little bit challenging just because we have so many NLL guys. So, just kind of going through that process. And then, the draft is what it is. Like it's a heavy lift, and thankfully, Brian Cavanaugh and Chris Cooper and Tony Resch to some degree, we put a lot of time in, figuring out our needs, doing a lot of player evaluation, watching a ton of lacrosse, but then talking to college coaches, because you really don't have much exposure to the guys. So you want to try to get a sense of, those intangibles to make sure that the fit on the field is one thing. And then the ability to be a part of a pretty unique locker room that we take great pride in is also, important. So yeah, it's after a little bit of time off, it's, we get moving.
Absolutely. I want to dig into that a little bit, but first I want to ask you about your pick in the draft. It's definitely a weird position when you have the last pick of the first round. It's tough to plan because you don't know who's going to be available at that point. You explained on air last night why you chose Woodward from Marquette over Pacino from Albany. Kind of came down to Woodward's ability to play close defense as a lockdown defender. But aside from this comparison, just tell us how you prepared for the last pick of the first round.
Well, to your point, you have a sense. It's a unique enough draft where you knew a bunch of dudes were going to go. Like you knew 4 or 5 of those guys had to go. Like they just had to go. So the first 6, we felt like we had an idea that the first 6 had to go. You had to take him, and you just figured, somebody was not going to let him slip. So there was some predictability, and then at 7, kind of was a little bit of a first surprise, at least for us. We thought the Water Dogs may go defense. For us, where we were and with who we really had our eyes on, we felt pretty good that he was going to be there, meaning Mason. When Brower didn't go at 7, which we thought might happen, Jake Pacino can flat out play, and we would, love to bring somebody like that into our organization. We just weren't willing to risk the fact that we wouldn't get a close defenseman. And I know he plays close at Albany, but we just really didn't project him to be a close guy in the pros. We at the end of the day figured, Pacino was probably not going to be the best fit necessarily, given how things fell. And then if it were, if the Water Dogs, because Jake Richards is a Jake Richards is a Marquette coach. We thought there's a chance that Mason could go 7, and if that were the case, then we'd have somebody like Brower sitting there at 8 for us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Woodward's a beast. I got to watch him play a little bit. My personal favorite pick of yours in this draft was Bo Peterson from Michigan at D-Midi. I began watching him when he started showing up on draft boards. He's a menace on ball. And what makes this pick even more interesting is that you traded Jarrett Connors to get the number 13 spot. And an interesting stat I saw, the Archers were the only team in the league to have every draft pick dress for 7+ games in 2023. Touched on it earlier, but this makes me even more curious about your team's process for player evaluation in the draft. So it would just be really cool if you could tell us about your process in this area.
Well, we draft for need and couple that with value. And that's, it sounds, look at us last year, and even, Kark said it. He's like, I didn't think, Connor Marr was going to translate. And, we thought Connor Marr was going to translate. It was 13 high for that. Yeah, it might have been. But it paid off, and we knew what we needed. So, I think we know our roster, and then we go and try to do enough due diligence to have options at those kind of positions. And, then I'm trying to think Piper went 21st. If there was another dude, we might not have taken Piper, but at the end of the day, it was like, he's too good not to take. And that worked out pretty well too. So,
yeah, I think in terms of, just the wealth of talent, there's no shortage of it. And I think, sorry, we lost you there for a second.
Go ahead.
We lost you. You took Piper at 21. That's when we lost you.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I just said my point was going to be, we got Ryan Algevin late, we got Kim Wires late, we got John Robbins late. So if you sort of do your work and kind of turn over some stones, like we just feel like there's dudes out there that can play and if they fit your needs, they're going to be able to make your roster and compete and contribute.
Yeah, absolutely. The wealth of talent, there's no shortage of it. I do have a question about just like the player evaluation process, because I mean the work that has to go into finding these guys who aren't playing on ESPNU every weekend has to be difficult. So like, how do you think this process could improve? Because you miss me. And you missed my co-hosts in the last 2 drafts. We're all highly confident we could immediately contribute to a PLL roster. Kidding, but not kidding. But there are a lot of good players at different levels. There's no college combine. Your program doesn't have a team of scouts going around. So just curious on your thoughts and hopes for the future in this area.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's time consuming. The 3 of us, like I said, Cav and Coop and myself, do the majority of it. It's a labor of love. I mean, it's fun, right? I mean, and I tell my wife this, she kind of rolls her eyes. I'm like, honey, I'm doing work, and I'm watching lacrosse.
It's not a bad gig.
And she's down. She gets it. It's easy when it's Notre Dame Duke on ESPNU, right? Like that's something everybody can get behind. But when you're on your iPad, and it's the no announcer, remote view from like the top of the stadium, and you're trying to figure out, is that Woodward or is that, it's less sexy, but it's still like, yeah, I'm watching lacrosse, man. Like, so, it'd be nice to have additional staff and get those guys paid. Because like I said, unfortunately, it's more of a labor of love than a well-paying job. But it's a little bit of a grind because if you do it, you want to do it well, and to do it well means you got to go find guys, and you got to know, and really rank guys. You have to have conversations to get people's opinions. You got to know the ASUN conference. You got to know the A10. Like, there's a lot of guys that can play, and the obvious ones are the obvious ones. The challenge is the ones that are a little under the radar.
Right.
Yeah, and Coach, when you talk about those under-the-radar guys, before we hopped on, we were on the phone chatting. You said there's a second day, almost a waiver for those undrafted players. Can you just speak a bit about that process and kind of following up on what we were just talking about?
The free agent draft, I think it was called.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. We're allowed. We have a 25-man roster, but we're to get to 25. We have a training camp where we can bring 30 guys to camp. So right now, like on our roster, we have one holdout guy, 2 injured reserve guys. We still have 6 or 7 roster spots to fill by tomorrow or by Friday, essentially.
Wow. Okay.
So tomorrow at noon, today, you drive home, you're like exhale, like the stress of the draft, the excitement of the draft, and you're like, all right, we got to go back and sort of get our lists together, essentially. And again, you want to do well, and you might find a guy or 2 guys that can help you, or if you guys were there and you didn't make the team the first year, you might make an impression. So at the second year, you're like, hey, let's bring that guy back. So there's, I'm getting hit by a ton of coaches today, college coaches who know, X, Y, and Z guys are interested and available. So there's some really good dudes. Like there's some players of the year in conferences. There's, dudes from big time programs that can play. So it speaks to the competitiveness of, not only each year's draft, but just the league in general just to get to a training camp is not easy. So we go through a waiver wire. We're the 7th pick. So if I have a list of 8 guys, I know I'm getting one of them. And then until that process keeps going until each team. So some teams have 25 dudes, 26 dudes, and may only need 1 or 2. We just have we have some holes to fill.
Yep. You might get some tape and some resumes in your inbox very soon from the 4 of us.
Don't text and drive though, Coach, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah. But no, that last question for you, just I want to touch on this Utah thing one more time. I think no one really fully knows what that means just yet in terms of your city assignment. Obviously, you guys are going to be going around from city to city this summer like you always have, and this will be your kind of homecoming weekend. But kind of looking into the future, 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever that might be, becoming the Utah Archers, becoming Utah's team. Maybe you can't get any answers from you, but what are maybe your hopes for that final assignment to be Utah's lacrosse team?
Well, it's just a pretty cool process, much like the PLL, from its inception was, kind of planting seeds and watering them and growing roots, little by little. I feel like from the standpoint of, a Utah-based franchise, there's a Utah. We had a press conference yesterday, and there's a Utah, reporter on, and it's like,
that's cool.
All right, let's get excited about this.
Yeah.
Let's start to think about how we can make those connections. And, you got a ton of folks in Utah who may root for, X, Y, or Z other team just because they love Michael Sowers or, whoever. But at the end of the day, it's a process. So, ultimately, I think you'll see more home games in each home site as time goes on. And, again, in the off season, you just warm up to it, right? You're like, okay, this is not the Archers Lacrosse Club. This is, we're the Utah Archers. Yep. What does that mean? Let's go build a fan base there. Let's go connect with people there. Let's tout what's unique about the city, the organization. So I think, like you said, it's doesn't happen overnight, but over the coming years, I think you'll see more and more connection and really just build the fabric of each organization in their home city.
Yeah, we're so excited for that next step, and we're also very pumped for this season. College lacrosse dwindling down. It's almost time for the professional game to take over my summer weekend, so we're fired up, Coach. Thanks so much for joining the show, filling us in, and good luck this year.
Yeah, it's fun to talk to you guys. Send me the highlight tape, and we'll see. Maybe you'll get a call back tomorrow at 12:30 when the draft is over. And I'm not sure. I heard you're not in great shape.
I don't know if you can speed things up on iMovie nowadays. Thanks, Coach.
Sounds good.
I appreciate it, Coach. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Right.
Sacred Heart Albany.
What's the score?
I think it's we flipped to the Bruins because we're in Boston here, but
it was 11-6.
11-6 Albany
in the 4th.
Yeah.
Is this being recorded for the podcast right now?
Yeah, we're live.
I mean, I think most people expected.
This is entertainment. This is what they're doing on the Mitchell Pocky Show.
I can't wait for the Mitchell Pelkey show.
Don't you just said it.
I'm so excited.
Who's on the Mitchell Pelkey show?
It's fucking
I have no idea.
Mitchell Pelkey.
Mitchell Pelkey.
Who else?
I don't know who they
I don't
are.
know.
Is it they talk lacrosse?
Where do they play?
Yeah,
They talk politics, actually.
Dan, where did Dukes play?
I don't know.
Is he on it?
Dukes is on it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 2 people I know.
Hayden, where did Dukes play?
He didn't. Yeah, I think he played in high school. Or something.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
He's passionate.
Brett.
Hey, he is passionate.
Dukes. Brett's calling you out.
Dukes, fuck you.
We
dude.
should clip this. Start some beef.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate any exposure lacrosse can get,
Dude,
and lacrosse on Barstool is a lot of exposure. So
I will beat you in every,
I do appreciate
every
it.
position, anytime, any place. Let me know.
This might not be the time to say it, but dude, Colin Robinson.
Oh,
R.I.P.
we should start the show with a Callum Robinson
I agree.
tribute.
Yeah.
what a wild.
We're all gonna do shoeies for Column.
What's your what's your favorite Callum Robinson memory?
The Shaffirdle drill.
Can you walk us through that? What that was?
The Shaffirdle drill. It's pretty much it's a combination of a shuffle and a hurdle. So your lateral moving, you pick your feet up over the cones, you're moving side to side.
Chef Edel.
This is all fucking love. I fucking love Colin Robinson. I fucking love that guy. He was a great fucking dude. He was the guy who you were just like, oh, like you'd love for that to be like your older brother.
Yeah,
Or like
breath of
your-
fresh air.
You know?
It seemed like the amount of people who came out saying like how genuine of a dude he was and all the respect. Like
Yeah.
obviously he was a great dude. Like the amount of people like I saw, and I'm not like I don't follow that many people who would know him. It's just like
Just think
all
about
over the place.
Think about him being like your youth coach for a tournament.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Like
so much
that
fun.
would probably change your life. You'd probably be like, I'm gonna text this guy like when I'm older. Like he's a good guy.
He was just gleaming with positivity.
Yeah.
What a smile.
He was.
He's handsome, fucking just
Yeah,
a
he's a
beast.
big guy.
Just dashing.
I couldn't believe it. It felt like when that who's the influencer you liked? The guy
Joe Aesthetics.
Joe, like,
R.I.P. Joe.
Joe Linda.
Joe Linder.
It
Yeah.
felt R.I.P. Joe Linder. It felt like that.
Yeah,
It felt like that.
but a little bit closer.
For sure. I was probably one of the bigger Colin Robinson fans. And
Yeah, his following was us and people like us.
yeah.
And it wasn't that big. I mean, it was pretty big, but it wasn't huge.
He just put like the best twist ever on lacrosse. It was like
Yeah.
lacrosse is just not Australian, and he made it like that, and it was like so fun to just hear him talk about it. And he was a fucking baller too.
I was gonna say defenders too are usually like maybe have a little bit of a screw loose, like inflicting pain on people. And you look at this guy with this massive smile and an Australian accent. You're
Yeah.
like this dude plays defense.
Have you seen the men's league pictures of Colin Robinson?
I mean, he's jacked.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's huge and he's wearing
jacked.
like a tight penny and,
No elbow pads.
and he'll post like 4 pictures of himself just like stepping down, like every muscle in his body flexing. It's like, oh my god!
Honestly-
Imagine seeing him on the field.
Honestly, one of the biggest tragedies is that when they announced it on the news, they didn't say that he was a lacrosse player.
What are you talking about?
They didn't say pro
Well, the
lacrosse,
lacrosse
player.
community did.
Yeah, like before the
Yeah,
draft. they
no,
did
but
that.
like on national news, they didn't say he was a professional
Well,
athlete.
fuck them. I don't watch
They didn't
national
say-
news.
they
Yeah,
didn't
who
say
watches
lacrosse.
national
I
news
bet that was
anymore?
on. I bet that was on CNN.
Well, it's like you expect it. You turn on the news to see
It was
like, hey,
probably MSNBC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very sad. I honestly thought that he was like gonna be one of the next guys in line to kind of be a big front office guy in the PLL. I think he's a guy that Paul Rabel trusts. I think a lot of people trust him. I think he's a great face and
I'd
ambassador.
much rather see
coming
him than
from-
Rabel on my TV screen. That's for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
Way
I just
better.
think he's a guy that was gonna be in the game forever. And I know he took a little break the last few years with retirement and doing his thing, but I think he was a guy that was gonna come back and kind of be a big part of the game, big part of the professional game. Because when he was playing and when he was still involved, like he was like one of the main guys, like one of the first guys in the PLL, like Kyle Harrison and Rob Pinnell and Lyle Thompson, and Callum Robinson was one of those like founding fathers, I guess you could call it, that came in and like really started the league. So I don't know,
Yeah, it's
horrible
sad.
loss, but
It's fucking sad.
he left a big impact.
He did.
Thoughts and prayers out to friends and family.
Yep. Shout out Colin and the Robinson family, and I forget the other guy's name.
He was like Jake or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad.
His
Sorry.
brother?
It's tragic. His brother, yes, and then his other friend too.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot to get to. It was important we talked about that because I'm
Definitely.
a huge Colin Robinson fan. But yeah, a conference championship recap. What was your favorite conference championship? I'll start there. You're not allowed to say Big East because that's my favorite, and you can't say that. Big East was my favorite conference tournament. It was fucking awesome. You want to
dive into that a little bit? Why it was so awesome?
Well, dude, Providence going to overtime with
Yeah.
Georgetown?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was a
And
great game.
Villanova beating Denver?
Yeah.
A little more realistic for that to happen. Villanova's a good team. Finally got to watch that kid play who got drafted, that LSM.
Who's good?
Pacheco, I think his name is.
Yeah, he got drafted.
Yep. I'll find
For
out
who?
his
For who?
name. Brett, can you find out his name?
Is it Pacheco?
Villanova. No, it's not Pacheco. Is it Pacheco?
The
not
Villanova
Pacheco.
LSM, whatever. We'll figure out his name. He's a stud.
him.
He went,
Campese or something.
no, whatever. He's a stud. We got to watch him play.
And then also that last second goal by Mikey Lampert that got denied because he dove into the goalie and landed in the crease. Scored. He tied it with the last second.
Yeah. There was a lot of controversy on that because the goalie came out of
the
his
net.
yeah.
Yeah, he was out of the cage.
I mean, what's the ruling on that? If the goalie is standing on the arc of the crease,
Well, he landed
Steven
in the goal mouth, too.
Zupicic.
Zupicic. Yeah,
is
Zupicic.
he a
It's
stud?
a hockey name. Zupicic.
He's
Really
a stud.
is.
Yeah, he leads
he's a
the
stud.
country and caused turnovers.
So he was at Ohio State, from my understanding,
for 4 years.
for 4 years, and then transferred to Villanova, which is honestly kind of an interesting. I feel like usually the grad you go from like a smaller school to a bigger school,
Yep.
right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, that transfer has definitely
yeah.
never happened before.
Right? I think which is pretty cool. I mean, Villanova's a great school.
Yeah.
Colorado's got a good program over there. Obviously, they had a pretty good squad this year. Unfortunately, they didn't make it.
You know who did the same thing as Gavin Ty, the faceoff guy for St. Joe's this year?
Right from
He went to 2 schools, I
was
think.
UNC one of them?
Maybe
Yes.
UNC, and then I feel like Virginia was one of them too.
Yeah, it might have been.
I feel like it was like big schools.
No, he was at Maryland, and then he went to Loyola. Am I thinking the right guy?
The faceoff guy for St. Joe's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. He went to
Yeah.
St. Joe's. Yeah, he was at Maryland.
Yep.
Regardless, that brings me to my favorite, of course. I'm sure anyone out there who listens to this pretty frequently knows I would have picked the A10. I was also boots on the ground, so I was at the championship. But it was, I mean, you look at the first game, St. Joe's, who won the whole thing, right, in pretty dominant fashion. I mean, they only beat UMass 11-8. Pretty tight game. Richmond only beat High Point by a goal to make it in. And then, I mean, the game was back and forth. It was like 5-3 Richmond, and then it was tied, and then St. Joe's was up, and then it was tied in the fourth quarter, and then it just felt like all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard and St. Joe's is up by 3 goals.
Yeah.
But it was a really physical, tense game. Those teams don't like each other.
That was fun to watch.
It was a good one.
I wish that was on ESPNU. It was on like ESPN Plus. Decent broadcast. But
Yeah.
That was my other complaint. I mean, I was there, but like, why is the A10 on ESPN Plus? ESPN Plus, you do a good job. I'm glad you cover all the games, but
Why-
that should be on ESPNU or ESPN
Yeah.
2. I don't know, something a little better than ESPN Plus.
Right,
I think
well, why is-
the A10 is deserving of it. Maybe that's a contract negotiation next year, A10. But
yeah, but everyone's saying if there's going to be an upset here, it's going to be St. Joe's.
Could be. They can beat anybody.
Yeah. They have the team that they need. That kind of gets us into our next segment.
Well, we didn't mention our favorite conference tournaments.
Well, please.
Okay. Well,
Step
Big East,
on my
Big
toes.
East and
Indulge
A10 was
us.
great.
Yeah.
Big Ten was also good. My favorite, though, where most of my attention was this weekend, was the Liberty League conference tournament, Division III.
Crazy.
Obviously being a Union guy, Brett being a SLU guy. First
You're a
time,
fan.
right? Tough game for Union. You were close. Tough game for SLU.
It was a rock fight.
Against RPI. That conference was so loaded. Those 4 teams, and even the 5th team, Clarkson, are all teams that could have won the tournament this year. But it's the first time that RPI has won the Liberty League championship since, I believe, 2010 is the year. And RIT joined the conference, I believe, in 2011 or something, 2012, and they have not lost a Liberty League championship ever. And this was their first time they lost. RPI won 15-14. RPI has RIT's number for some reason, but we were following them the whole year. I watched every game of that tournament. Just high level of lacrosse. It's good to see someone else other than RIT win. Wish it wasn't RPI, but it's good to have some change now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I saw St. Lawrence go to RPI. I went to Troy, got a nice round of golfing before it.
Nice.
It was great. They're All-American goalie Joe Perez. Yeah, he struggled, but he showed up to play when they went to Canton. And then down the stretch, they just found a way to beat RIT, which is an insanely hard, tough feat to do.
Yep.
So.
And all four of those Liberty League teams are in the NCAA now, so they should all win a game or two. And someone from that conference is going to make a deep run. I don't know who, but someone will.
It's like the ACC.
It is the ACC of Division III lacrosse.
It's bold.
It's pretty cool.
Bold, yeah.
And I would say the NESCAC is like the Big Ten.
Some people would say the Big Ten.
No, I would say the NESCAC is like the Ivy.
So they're only going to have one team make the tournament.
It's a much better comparison.
They only had 3 teams make the tournament.
Who?
Tufts, Wesleyan, Bowdoin.
So who missed?
Hamilton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amherst.
Williams.
Damn.
Those teams are all eligible. I think I'm missing one too.
Well, they're at Wesleyan, right?
Well, there's others.
Yes.
It's a huge
That's where the
conference.
first round
It's a big
is.
conference.
It is a big conference.
Yeah. It's bigger than most D1 conferences.
So there you go. There's a D3 rundown.
Well,
too.
that's a good way to get our D3 rundown. And how does Coach Mahoney, the coach of St. Lawrence, get the head coach of the year in the Liberty League while RPI wins the conference?
This is a good question.
I think it was just based. I think it was based on last year. Yeah, the Bruins just got scored on.
Panther scored.
Is it 3-1?
3-1. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was because of last year.
But like, isn't that not absurd? He literally knocked off RIT, won the Liberty League for the first time in what'd you just say, a decade?
Yeah.
12 years.
Yeah, no, that is interesting how that happens. But I think SLU was young this year. I think RPI was gonna be a good team. No one thought they were gonna be the second best team in the country.
Definitely not.
Also, what's screwed up is RPI beat RIT twice this year. They have a better record, and in the final regular season standings in D3, RIT was ranked 2 ahead of RPI. RPI was 3.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it doesnst matter. But
It's politics.
yeah, back to your point. Yeah, it is interesting. It seemed like SLU kind of swept the postseason awards. Judge Murphy was offensive player of the year. Mahoney's son,
Yeah, Dan
Mahoney was rookie of the year. And they got coaching staff of the year, which is, yeah, I mean, that's
Coach of the year.
coach of the year. It's not coaching staff of the year?
I think it's just Coach Mahoney.
Okay.
It's a good transition.
I mean, it's deserving. It's probably the best season he's had in
Yeah.
a long time, but
Right.
Definitely.
yeah, no, big argument for RPI there. And also RIT. I mean, just what they do is consummate. And you know what? I want to make one more point. So
Shoot.
Union is becoming a true lacrosse school. I got to give a shout out. Their club team just won the club lacrosse championship for the second time in 3 years.
The Garnet Charger Club team?
Yep.
Wow.
They play in the NCLL. They just won. I think they beat like Georgetown or somebody in the finals, but they've won it 2 times in the past 3 years. So the club team is good.
Congratulations. They don't get another second of airtime on
Yeah,
this podcast.
you're right. But I wanted to shout them out because there's some listeners on that. But there's 4 teams in Division III who have been ranked in the top 20 for the past 5 years. Every single week for the last 5 years.
Union, RIT, Tufts, and
Salisbury.
Bingo. Those are the 4. Union, RIT, Tufts, and Salisbury.
This is a great transition to the Ivy League. And
Yep. But hey, we're rooting for Union. We're rooting for SLU.
Please transition
NCAA
us.
tournament will be great.
it's a great transition to the Ivy League and just talking about our reaction to the bracket that came out.
Sorry.
No, that was good. Thank you. D3 listeners, thank you guys. You are, if this was the Titanic, you were the guy throwing in the coal, making that engine turn. So
Hell yeah.
To the backbone.
keep doing it. Keep doing it for us. Yeah. Are you guys surprised by any of the selections from the tournament?
What do you mean,
There's
like the at-large bids?
Just Ivy
Yeah, just
or-
at large. I mean,
Maryland.
I think the Ivy should have had some more representation.
Maryland.
There's two teams that I think a lot of people are questioning if they should be in it. The teams that are already in it, and I think that is Maryland and UVA. I think that's the most I've heard about people questioning if they deserve to be in it or not is UVA and Maryland.
Yeah.
Both of which I see cases as to why it's questionable.
It's got to be Maryland.
Especially, I even think UVA.
Yeah, they had some bad losses.
They don't have any really good wins.
Yep, I think I said this on air before, but they've beaten. So first of all, Virginia's lost their last 4 games.
Which is
They've lost to Notre Dame
When's
twice.
the last time that happened?
They've lost to Notre Dame twice. They lost to Syracuse and they lost to Duke. Their last win was April 6th at North Carolina,
which is not a great win.
or at home against North Carolina. Not a great win. Their best win is Maryland at Maryland, who we just said shouldn't have even been in the tournament.
Exactly.
And their second best win,
Richmond.
Michigan. Towson. Yeah.
I mean,
Albany.
I feel like at that point, Michigan wasn't really a
it's
great
not
win.
Albany, but
Like when that happened, it wasn't a great win.
yeah,
It looks
was
good
the
now.
first game of the year. I mean, yeah, it looks great.
I mean,
now.
you're talking about a team that just got
Thank God.
an at-large bid, didn't get automatic qualifier. ACC doesn't do that, but the last 4 games, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're factoring in who's hot right now, then Virginia is not hot.
And what's with-
and they have St. Joe's.
What's with UVA getting 8-10 teams? It's been Richmond, St. Joe's. It's been every 8-10 team draws UVA. Richmond played at UVA last year.
Yeah.
It's probably regional based.
It's a regional thing. Has to be. That's definitely part of the bracket.
Stupid.
I don't have any major disagreements with the committee, but you feel like Penn should be in. You feel like maybe Yale should be in. You feel like if Cornell was in, they could fucking win it.
Yeah.
I feel like if Army was in it, they could get to Final Four.
Yeah, those are the 4 teams.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 teams.
I agree.
I was saying earlier, I wish Penn was in just because for anyone who watched Penn in the Ivy League tournament or later in the season, their defense is so fucking good and fun to watch. It's physical lacrosse. They don't like they're off. They have a good offense. They have good offensive players, but the way they play is like grind you down. Full field offense and defense. It is so fun to watch. So I'm going to miss that in this tournament.
Lavelle's back.
Lavelle is an
Carroll.
animal.
Lavelle and Carroll are going to be back next year at Penn.
Which is scary for maybe the Ivy League does like a 360 and next year they're like a 4-team at large, kind of like they did last was that 2 years ago? Last year?
Yeah. I think
I've had this conversation a couple times, but say you had a vote on it, would you be in favor of expanding the D1 tournament for men's to say 24 teams? The first 8 teams get a bye.
The only reason I say yes is because more lacrosse the better. I'll watch lacrosse all year long. That's the only reason I say yes. I don't know about you Brett and Dan.
Yeah.
So
No, I like the idea.
I agree. We're not thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about
right.
You phrase that well, because I would say the same thing.
Like, I don't know. Like, yes, you have to have a great season, but when you have a tournament that leaves out 4 teams, maybe even more that have a chance at winning it and have beat some of the top teams in here, like, it almost feels incomplete a little bit. It's almost like, well, what if Cornell was in it? What if Army was in it? Like, I don't know. Like, yes, there'd be more games, but I think there'd be more justification as to, who the national champion is. Like, who's the best team in the country? The best teams all get together for this tournament. Who is the best team? This is like, you get 90% of the best teams, but what about those other couple?
Part of the fun too is though who got snubbed.
It is. But we say this every year. Every year, great teams get snubbed, and it's like, everybody's like, oh, the committee sucks. Like, well, they don't really have a choice. And it's like, if that's an ongoing
have a certain
issue,
number of teams.
if that's an ongoing issue every year where great teams are getting left out of the tournament, they should change it.
Maybe even just a little adjustment would be have another playing game. The 2 seed has a bye. That's 2 more teams you can get in there.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one more team you can get in.
It is one more team. That's right. One more team.
I don't know.
They're not going to – I don't see them changing it anytime soon.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I don't think they need to.
Won't.
Like,
that's a hypothetical.
Yeah, it is, for sure. But it's a fun one. How long? What time are we at?
We're at 24 minutes,
Holy moly!
but that's with everything we've said so far.
Yeah, we've said a lot. Let's rank the games and let's talk about them. Least exciting first, and then most exciting.
I mean, least exciting should be the easiest one. It's Notre Dame. And Albany, by the way, officially from the booth. UAlbany beat Sacred Heart 13-7 in the NCAA playing game.
Okay.
So it'll be UAlbany at Notre Dame.
You think I think Utah Duke is the least exciting.
Really?
I was going to say that too.
Albany's good.
Yeah, but Notre Dame's a better team than Duke.
Yeah, Notre Dame's gonna win. But like, it'd be cool to see Pacino do some cool stuff. I don't know anyone on Utah.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't.
I think
know
those are
anybody
neck. I think those are neck and neck. As
I mean, they're pretty close.
Also, Duke can lose to anybody, so you never know. But I don't really get excited about watching Utah play.
Utah or Albany?
Who's worse?
Least exciting.
I'd say definitely the Notre Dame game for sure.
I'd say
close.
Duke, Utah. I'd rather watch the Notre Dame game.
All right.
Because
So
you want to watch Notre Dame.
I'm Utah Duke. I'm the host, so we're gonna do.
We'll go fuck ourselves.
Yeah. So least exciting Utah Duke. Second least exciting is Albany Notre Dame. All right, let's keep going here.
I think third, you could say Hopkins Lehigh. It's a good game, but
It is a good game.
they're all good games.
Yeah, it is a good game. Well, just the at-large
No,
stuff
I think
makes
you're
it
right.
so interesting.
I think you're right. I think Hopkins Lehigh would probably be next,
But that's
which is still a great game. All these now are either team can win.
What about Towson Syracuse?
I was going to say that's
I think
next.
Towson could be.
But
I think Towson could beat him in the dome. I don't know, man.
They can't.
Hughes is prolific for getting upset in the first
You're
round.
just playing devil's advocate right now. No way.
I think.
Remember Bryant in the dome? 20. I forget what year.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Brian beat Syracuse in the first round.
So I mean,
Maybe.
Okay. So then we have. I think Princeton, Maryland. I'm just like, I don't know.
I feel like that would be an
I
exciting
like
game.
Princeton. They're hot. Picked them to win the Ivy League. They won it. Maryland. I'm just like, I have this kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, come on, you guys shouldn't be in there. What the hell are you doing there?
so Princeton, Maryland, and then
Yeah.
I mean Denver,
Five.
Michigan's really good. Georgetown, Penn State's really
Yeah,
good.
that's an awesome game.
That might be the one.
And St. Joe's
That'll
and
be
UVA is really good.
I think that might
What
be
if we
the
go? What if we
one
go the best game? What's the best game?
Yeah, so now we have that. Let's
yeah,
go
let's
from
work from the other way.
Yeah, other way. I think best game might be Denver, Michigan.
That's up. I think
Yep,
Penn State, Georgetown.
I agree.
I think that's so intriguing.
I agree completely.
It's such an intriguing game.
It's a great label.
Hey,
Two
you-
hockey schools.
Hayden,
great
you
label.
disagreed. What do you think, Hayden?
I've just watched them play a lot. I think St. Joe's, Virginia is going to be a great game. I'm looking at the
think it's
bracket
number
now.
3.
St. Joe's has to beat Virginia and probably Hopkins, and then they're in the Final Four. They're the dark horse of the tournament.
I think that's
Two
number
tough
3.
teams.
I just got goosebumps.
Those are two tough teams.
They could go to the Final Four.
They
Got
can.
goosebumps.
They probably were sitting there on selection
The
Sunday. and they
A10
saw
can
their
go
name
to the
pop up
Final
and they were
Four
like,
every single
"Let's
year."
go." Like, let's go. They don't have to play Notre Dame. They don't have to play Syracuse, Duke. Like,
You want to see a rowdy crowd at the Final Four? Any A10 team makes it rowdy.
yeah.
It sucks.
In Philly too. St. Joe's in Philly. Oh, the place would be sold out.
Meek Mill will probably perform.
They have every reason to go to Final
Okay,
Four.
so that'll be the third.
I think it's third.
Okay.
I think it's the third. Number 1, Denver, Michigan, and then we put Georgetown, Penn State, which is a fantastic game.
Georgetown, Penn State. That's 2 or 1.
2.
Okay. And then
It's got to be
Denver, Michigan, I think is 1.
Our
In my opinion.
game of the
Yeah.
week is Michigan, Denver. All right. Awesome. Make sure to like and follow the podcast if you're interested in hearing us talk about stuff. Social, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the above. Let's go. All right. Our slate this week is slim, just how we like it. Instead of running through 30 whatever games, we're going to go through 8 of them and then give some picks and be bold here. We'll give you the spreads of these games too, which is very exciting. Possibly help you feed your family. So the first game we're going to talk about is Utah at number 2, Duke. Duke is a 6.5 goal favorite. This one's at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, May 11th. Not a ton of thoughts here. Another opportunity for Brown Neal, who's He's the number one pick.
Number one overall pick in the
Yep.
PLL draft.
Yep.
I think the only thing that's intriguing about this game to me is, like, I don't know about you guys or too many people, but I haven't been able to watch Utah too much this year. I don't really know what they're made of, and I know that they're high scoring and all that good stuff. I don't really think they'll be able to compete with Duke, but one thing I would like to know is the travel for this game for Utah. Utah to Duke University, 2,120 miles. Would like to point that out there.
That's
Not
an
only are
expensive
the
flight.
odds against them, but that's a long travel day for the Utes. Sure, they'll be
That-
down there early. They're probably already down there.
That is going to be like half the budget of their program, probably.
To go to Duke.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have to do that for a lot of games.
They got big time
The
football.
NCAA,
They'll be all right.
right?
They played Jacksonville.
Yeah, they play Jacksonville. The A-Suns all,
True.
and then
Never
Bellarmine,
mind.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
They're flying every year. Utah's flying every year.
They got football.
Yeah, I mean, I think Utah might be able to surprise them. I think the big thing is Brennan O'Neill is looking for his first championship. I think
Yeah.
that's the one thing he hasn't done. And I don't know. I think Duke is a team that's just poised to make a run in May. That's how they recruit. That's how they play all year. They save their guys. They play a deep bench so they can go into these games and do everything that they possibly can to win it. So, yeah, like you said, Mike, I haven't watched a lot of Utah this year, but Duke is a team that is always scary in the tournament. So I like Duke here. I don't know if they'll cover, but
That's a small spread, 6.5 goals. It's not huge. One thing is, we've talked so much about the number one pick in the draft. We've totally forgotten to talk about the Tewaaraton.
yeah, you're right.
Really have.
It's really up in the air.
I don't think Brennan O'Neill wins.
I don't think he does
Shelley?
either. No.
Kavanaugh?
I think CJ Kirst is up
Yeah,
there.
but the Cornell's already done. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
He's done.
Yeah.
The problem is that you have to factor in to where these teams are in their season.
Yep.
Think about who is up for the Tewaaraton and who's still playing.
What about Brando?
When did they pick the Tewaaraton? Is it
Brandow's out.
Is it,
Brandow's definitely out.
Yeah, but you don't have to make a run to win.
You
it.
don't have to, but you know that weighs.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's going to be Shelley.
Brennan O'Neill will definitely be a
Shelley.
top 4 guy. He'll be at the ceremony.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. But I think it's going to be Shelley.
Okay. Well, I need to think about that because we haven't. Interesting. See who wins that. I mean,
Entenmann?
Pat Kavanaugh.
Pat Kavanaugh up too, yeah.
Liam Entenmann?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Pat fell to 6th in the draft.
I know. He's coming to Boston.
I know, man. That's
I'm
huge.
so happy. I'm so
So
happy
sick.
he fell,
Huge,
dude.
man.
Can't wait to get his
Great,
jersey.
Jake,
exciting.
great fit. Talent and culture.
Yeah.
So exciting.
I know.
Get a couple Kavanaugh jerseys. Hey, we might have all three in a couple of years.
I need a Neslanian jersey first.
I do too.
Second game we're going to talk about here. Just determined UAlbany after a play-in win over Sacred Heart at home. Albany is going to go to Notre Dame 5 o'clock Sunday, May 12th. The Irish are 9-goal favorites in this game. We're just talking about Tewaaraton here. I mean, Pacino's got to be involved in the conversation. Especially, I mean, this is his last dance. If he has an amazing game, and he is worth all the hype.
I think so
If
too.
you've watched Albany for a minute this year, I bet you saw Pacino either pick up a ground ball, score a goal, or cause a turnover.
He's all over the field.
Yep.
He is all over the field. I don't agree with people who make the argument that he could be a close defender in the PLL. I think that is completely false. I think he's going to be an excellent LSM, but I'm excited to see, and what I highlighted for this game was the matchup. He's going to be on Pat Kavanaugh, the number 6 overall pick in the PLL, and somebody who has been a matchup nightmare for top defenders all year. Pacino struggled against Brandau this year, and obviously Pat Kavanaugh is a way tougher matchup for a multitude of reasons. So that's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to see how he holds up, and also the biggest spotlight of his career is going to be this game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
They're both great.
Yeah. With that said, I think it's a no-brainer to
Fucking
pick
great.
Notre Dame here. I like 9.5 is a great spread because I don't know if Notre Dame's going to win by 9.5, but they're going to win this game, and they're probably going to go to the Final Four out of this quadrant.
Yeah, I would agree. Next game. Lehigh at Hopkins. Hopkins, the 3 seed in this tournament. They are 4.5-goal favorites. This one's at 12 noon on Sunday, May 12th. Lehigh is hot. They're hot, and I don't care what you thought about Lehigh 2 weeks ago. They just came out of the Patriot League. They just beat Army. They didn't beat Army, but they beat Army. They beat Navy. They beat BU. They beat Loyola.
Yep.
All these teams they're better than, and now they're in the tournament. And no matter what you thought about them, they got to go to Hopkins. And some blood here. Coach Crowley for Hopkins, offensive coordinator. He was at Lehigh, I believe, up until I think 2 years ago. So a lot of those guys, I'm sure he recruited.
Yeah. And a new coach for Lehigh, which is pretty amazing.
Will
Yeah,
Scudder.
it is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Will Scudder,
Like,
He had been in the program though. It's not like they got him
Yeah.
somewhere else. He was
which is
Yeah.
even cooler and more impressive.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
yeah, I wonder what the betting odds were 2 weeks ago at the start of the Patriot League tournament for Lehigh to come out of it, because out of the 6 teams that were tied for that first place spot, I don't even know if they were one of them. I think they were. Like, probably would have been my last pick for them to come out of it. So, yeah, they're hot.
Although you did say earlier in the year, you said I wouldn't be surprised if Lehigh is a team that could win the Patriot League.
I did say that. Yep, I did say that. I don't know when, but I did say that.
Folk indeed. Folk can say that.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty gritty game. Obviously, Hopkins is a favorite here, but we've seen Hopkins go down to the wire with some teams. They play tough defense. Lehigh's another team that seems to always have low-scoring games, especially in the Patriot League. So this could be close. I think Hopkins is going to win. I think they have more to play for. I think Lehigh completed their goal of winning the Patriot League. I think that was probably their main focus. And then, the NCAA tournament was a little bit of an afterthought. But this is going to be a good game. Lehigh's a legit team. Guy Pacheco at LSM is one of the best in the country. Scott Cole is a great attackman for them. They're a solid team, and they're an experienced team. I just think Hopkins has more pressure, more to play for. I think this is Hopkins' year to really make a push.
You mentioned those names. Luke McAuliffe, close defenseman for Lehigh, was the Patriot League MVP for the tournament.
Really?
Which is crazy.
It
Close
is crazy.
defenseman.
Never heard of him.
You've never heard of.
Never talked about him.
The MVP.
And then quickly, just the matchup. You mentioned him, Scott Cole, first team Patriot League, 47 points on the year versus Scott Smith, who just got drafted by the Cannons,
31st overall.
31st overall, first team All Big Ten. That's going to be a really fun,
Might go back to Hopkins.
a really, really fun one to watch for people who don't know about Scott Cole, maybe because Lehigh kind of flew under the radar this year. He is a very dynamic attackman, and Scott Smith is somebody who we've talked about a lot. That's going to be a really fun one to watch.
You see the Quinn Armstrong interview?
No.
It was just like a heat of the. Did you see it?
No.
It was like a heat of the moment interview, like right after the game. Quinn Armstrong,
Yeah.
attackman for Lehigh, number 6. He's just like,
Did he swear?
10,000 miles. He did swear.
He did?
He dropped an F-bomb or something. I think he said he's like, Scott Cole's the best fucking player in the country. He's like, sorry about that. It was awesome. Okay, that's our third worst game of the weekend.
Third worst.
Yeah,
I
man,
know
I
these
shouldn't-
games are so.
I shouldn't say it like that. I should
It's
say
going to be so entertaining.
yeah, the sixth best game this weekend.
There you go.
So think about it. If that was another week, it'd be borderline game of the week.
Yes, sir.
Our next game that we're going to talk about is Towson at the 4 seed Syracuse. The Orange are a 3.5 goal favorite. This one's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, May 12th. So last game of the weekend. It's impossible not to think about Sider's snipe against Evan Malloy.
Mike and I were talking about that on the ride in.
That's literally
Talk of the town.
for all the young kids out there. Close your ears here, earmuffs. But it's literally lacrosse porn. That shot
It is.
literally like
A top
bricked up watching that video. Like anybody who loves lacrosse, that is the most beautiful shot that's ever been caught on camera.
yeah.
There's a comment. I'm always looking to comment, get our name out there on social, and I wanted to say something, and then there's this comment because someone posted it again. They're like, "That is the cornerest corner in the history of corners," or something like that.
It is.
It was. I laughed my butt off.
Because we're talking about beautiful goals. The over to this game is 26.5. I think that could easily be hit. These offenses, for as far as scoring offense efficiency goes, or just scoring offense in total, Cuse is number 6 in the country and Towson's number 7. It's going to be a high scoring game, and it's going to be a lot of fun in the Dome. And everyone knows games in the Dome, Cuse can score the rock, and other teams also tend to just because of the environment.
It's gonna be muggy.
It's going to be muggy. It's going to be a high scoring, high flying game for sure.
Yeah. Towson's a team that we talked about early on. Kind of a dark horse, and them coming out of the CAA and beating Delaware 15-6, I think it was, is.
Jeez, really?
That says a lot.
Handle
because Delaware's a very good team. They're very well coached. They're always very disciplined. They don't seem to lose games like that. And I think Towson is experienced with DeMayo at attack. There's a couple other guys, I'm forgetting their name, but they also just had a close defenseman selected in like the second round by the Archers.
Yeah,
they did.
Coach Bates got him.
He's a guy I haven't seen. I think they
Bars.
just I think they just have a bunch
Mikey Weishart too.
Yep.
Number 1. I think he's a sophomore
Yep.
for Towson.
I think they just have a bunch of dogs who are like, not spotlight players, but they just work well together. They play fast. They're a gritty team, a Nassau County team.
Their coach is a fucking dog too.
beast.
Yeah.
So
He's won tournament games. He's gone to the Final Four.
yeah, I don't know. It's that. Yeah, Syracuse was probably not very excited to see them, but Syracuse again is a team like Hopkins that has everything to prove this year. Immense amount of pressure for Gary Gate. They're a team that's executed all year and won some huge games. They just got to hold it together in these big moments, especially with their young guys.
I think after the first two games we talked about, the Utah, Duke, and then Notre Dame, Albany, we're a win for the underdog wouldn't be crazy.
No.
It would be surprising, but I don't think it would be crazy. I don't think it'd be crazy if Lehigh won. I don't think it would be absurd if Towson won. In our next game, we're going to talk about Princeton at Maryland. Princeton's the favorite in this game. Princeton's a 1.5 goal favorite at Maryland, the number 7 seed. This one's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, the 11th. A lot of people are upset about Maryland being in the tournament.
What are they, 8-5? That's a record.
I'll go to Inside Lacrosse.
We talked about it though. I mean, you can hate on Maryland as much as you want. They know the road to championship weekend. They've done it. They know the blueprint.
You know what their streak is, being in the tournament?
How many years?
How many years in a row they've made the tournament?
20.
Brett, what's your guess?
14.
12.
21.
That was close.
The next closest is 5, and I think it's Virginia.
They are 8-5 too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're
So Maryland has made the tournament 21 straight years, and
which says what? They are super comfortable in the tournament. They don't feel that pressure.
they expect this
They
game on their
expect-
schedule.
Right.
Right. Lacrosse season for them goes into May.
Yes.
Which makes them scary. But then Princeton has been super, super impressive. I picked them to win the Ivy. Dan, you did too, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, they stole that tournament, and I don't know, maybe in this game they built the case that maybe more Ivies should have been in this tournament. It's a big statement game for sure. They're the sole Ivy in the tournament.
They have fans. Princeton has a lot of fans for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been extremely impressive this year, and they're a team that's also used to Memorial Day weekend and the pressure that comes with it. They were a Final Four team in 2022, so they have guys on the team who have been there and done that and know what it's like to play in May. So yeah, great game. This is a great game. This could be the best game of the week, But these two teams played earlier in the season, and Maryland won. Correct?
Handily.
So
Yep.
I think Princeton has grown a lot. They obviously have a lot of young guys and 2 freshman attackmen who play, the whole game for them.
It's a great point. They were freshmen in that game.
They were freshmen, and now they're not freshmen. I mean, they are freshmen, but they're not freshmen.
Right.
They're
sophomores.
upperclassmen for what it's worth.
As Coulter said, they're not. Coach says they're not freshmen anymore. The next game I want to talk about, maybe my favorite game of this upcoming weekend, St. Joe's. 4.5 goal underdogs at the 6th seed, Virginia. This one is the first game of the weekend. It's at 12 noon on Saturday, May 11th on ESPNU, like all the other games. Everyone's saying that St. Joe's is the team that could make this big upset. I don't know if they feel pressure because of that. They've been in the tournament before 2 years ago. They went to Yale. I think they lost by 2.
2 or 1.
After winning the NEC.
I remember watching that game.
It was really
Like that was a big deal.
it was really high scoring.
That was fun.
Well, St. Joe's was 14-3 that year.
Yeah.
This St. Joe's team's better. They're better than that team.
It's all the same kids.
It's all the same kids.
Without,
They're all seniors and fifth years.
All the Canadians.
missing
they're
Zach Cole.
Listen, they're hot right now. They're a good team. They're playing really good lacrosse. This is a really high-powered, offensive, big-name game. UVA is the number 9 scoring offense. Schellenberg was the number 2 pick in the PLL draft. Peyton Cormier is number one in the country in goals per game. Cade Millen,
Undrafted.
number 44, undrafted. Number 44 in the country in points per game. And then St. Joe's is number 19 in the country scoring offense. Matt Bomir's 42 in goals per game, sorry. Levi Anderson is 49 in points per game, and Carter Page is number 25 in goals per game. So, I mean, big names, probably a lot of ESPN top 10 type goals will be in this game. This
is gonna be an awesome game. Great way to start off the weekend. You just know one of these teams is gonna make an upset. It seems to happen every year. I think this is one that could happen. We were talking a little bit earlier. St. Joe's, they have to beat Virginia and then Hopkins, and then they're in the Final Four, which is a pretty good road for them. They don't have to see Notre Dame. They don't have to see Duke.
Assuming Lehigh doesn't beat Hopkins.
Exactly. I mean, if Lehigh beats Hopkins, even better for them.
I mean, that's all-time historic if they do it, but
Yeah.
All time.
like that is
Yeah. I don't know. I think Virginia's lost the last 4. I would love to see what kind of coping and revitalizing exercises Lars is doing with his team this week.
Meditation.
They're probably meditating,
Right.
blocking out all the noise. I would love to see that.
they've hot, hot stones and
They all went on a camping trip to the buffalo farm. They had to survive for 2 days.
They took their finals instead of papers on the skin of a
The
a
hide.
buffalo. Yeah, the hide of a buffalo.
Yeah.
Which is what the contract, which is Dad's land, was.
They're all going to
signed
come.
over Native Americans.
They took ayahuasca and went hiking in the Appalachian.
They're all going to come
Mountains.
out using traditional lacrosse sticks.
They all use their tears to pound their pockets for the skin.
No, but I mean, realistically, like they've lost the last 4, but they're still as good as anybody. I think they're still, a team that could win this, and it wouldn't be a surprise. I'm saying the whole thing. I don't think it would be a surprise if Virginia won, just how good and how deep they are. But this is going to be a great game. St. Joe's, they make it to the Final Four. They're playing in Philly at home. Oh man, what a experience that would be.
The over's 26 in this, by the way.
It's pretty low.
I think Virginia's going to put buffalo hair inside their spandex to play with the fierceness that they've been lacking for the last few weeks here.
They're going to play with the souls of all the buffaloes that fell off of the ridges. They set them up. They set them up to die so they could use their pelts to trade with the Westerners.
We'll take this offline. Our next game, our next game, and our second biggest game of the weekend. Penn State 1.5 goal underdogs at number 8 Georgetown. This one's at 2:30 Eastern on Sunday. You wonder if Georgetown would have gotten in if they lost to Providence,
No.
or lost to Villanova.
Probably not.
If all 3 of those Ivies, Penn, Yale, and
There's no
Cornell
way.
didn't make it, then there's no way in hell that Georgetown would have gotten it.
They
Why-
stole a bid. They stole a bid for sure.
So, never mind. I was going to ask why Denver was just automatically in, but they have great wins.
They have really good wins.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good game, though. 2 teams that have been up and down.
Who do you think's going to win this game?
Penn State.
I think Georgetown can steal it.
Like, I don't know. I actually don't know. What's the spread on it?
Penn State 1.5 goal
It's 1.5.
favorites.
Yeah, I don't know.
Matchup
At
to watch.
Georgetown.
It's a pick 'em at Georgetown.
It's a pick 'em. 1.5 spread just means it's a pick 'em. Nobody knows. But the matchup to watch here, TJ Malone, who was just drafted to the PLL, will be and was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, I believe, 2nd year in a row. He's going to be against Ty Banks, first team All Big East as a freshman.
Love Ty Banks.
Love his game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a really fun one to watch because Penn State goes as TJ Malone goes, and he's gonna be going against a really good defender who's young, first time in the playoffs.
Penn State, don't dismiss the Michigan loss. Penn State's playing good lacrosse.
They're a great team.
They beat Maryland 19-9. You don't just do that. That's a huge win. I just don't know if Penn State. I don't think they're as good as they were last year.
They aren't.
I don't think they're going to make the Final Four. I don't know if Georgetown's going to knock them off or if it's going to be someone afterwards. But
Georgetown can do it.
yeah,
Who knows?
all right. Next game, our last one. We're going to talk about. This is the big one. Michigan 1.5 goal favorites. Was that right? Who put
Sounds
that
like
down?
Yeah. Michigan's
Really?
1.5.
Michigan 1.5 goal
Dan
favorites
shocks himself.
at Denver, the 5 seed Denver. This one's at 5 Eastern on Saturday, May 11th. Michigan bid stealers for sure. And I wonder, that would have been a huge controversy.
Hey, you don't hear Joe Beninati calling people hot as pistols if they're not stealing bids.
Right. Michigan is
I mean,
hot as
Michigan
a
really
pistol.
did shuffle.
they're hotter than a pistol right
Everyone
now.
was saying all weekend, wait till the Michigan championship because if they win, it's going to make everything wild. And it kind of did.
And then they won. But Princeton did them a favor.
They did.
And Princeton won, and then because you wonder if there was one more spot who would get it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it wouldn't have been. Yeah, they
Army?
they fully stole a bid. It would have been Army or Cornell or Yale.
it would have been Ivy. Ivy would have taken it.
One of four teams.
Ivy
Probably
would
would've
have
been
taken
Army.
it, and
Probably
Ivy would
would've
have
been
taken it. Maybe Penn, but also you stuttered on the Michigan minus 1.5. All the money's going towards Denver plus 1.5.
This was the same thing when Yale went there. Yale was a 1.5 goal favorite. They ended up winning by 2 at Denver.
I don't know. I think Michigan. Obviously great performance in the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten is kind of a different breed of tournament. I think Maryland just rose to the occasion and gritted out some of those wins. I think Denver will be a little more of a offensive, sided game. I think there's just going to be, less defense you can play because you don't know them as well. I think Denver's a little more versatile on offense than some of these Big Ten teams. So that's why this is the best game because we have no idea. How good is Michigan really? They struggled all year until the Big Ten tournament. And then, Denver was a number 1 team at points, but they didn't play well in the Big East tournament. So that's why it's kind of up in the air. I think Denver is a better team, and I think they probably should be favored to win this game, especially at home. But like you said, Michigan is hot as ever right now.
Yeah, what a tough draw.
Yeah, it's tough. But
You get an at-large bid, and then you play probably arguably the hottest team in Division I lacrosse right now. And then a matchup I'd like to mention here, Michael Boehm, second team All Big Ten. He's going to go against Jimmy Freehill. He's the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think too many people would know that.
he's a mass kid.
Jimmy Freehill?
Yeah.
Was the Big Ten
Where's he
Big
from?
East Defensive Player of the Year.
Sebs?
I assume would be on Michael Baum.
Yeah. They have a few guys.
And they have Michigan. Bo Pedersen was the number 13 overall pick in the PLL defensive midi.
He's a stud.
He's a stud. He'll be fun to watch in this game as well. And they'll be taking on a good Denver offense. Mikey Lampert, JJ Silstrop. So
Mercurio, too. They kept thinking he was going to get drafted last night. He ended up not getting taken. Just a big pull. He's the guy for Denver who scores all the goals.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have been drafted.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll cut here for a second, then come back. Make sure to like and follow the pod. Okay, we're giving you our Final Four, and then we're going to bed. We're resting up for the biggest weekend of the year. 8 huge lacrosse games that we cannot wait to watch. We're going to give you our Final Four predictions, starting with, it's not like college basketball where it's like the North, the South, the East, the West. It's just like, here's the bracket. So starting in the top left is what we'll say. This is the bracket with Notre Dame versus Albany and Georgetown versus Penn State. We're each going to give you a pick of who comes out of it. We're going to start, as always, with Brett.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Okay. Top right. We have Duke, Utah, and then we have Maryland, Princeton. Who comes out of the top right? This team will play Notre Dame in the semifinal.
Maryland.
I like Duke. They also won't play each other, but
Princeton.
Mike's high on Princeton.
You're right. I'm sorry, Hayden. Yep, they won't play each other. I think I ride Princeton.
Okay.
Let's go.
I expected that.
Bottom left.
Bottom left.
Denver, Michigan, Syracuse, Towson. Mike.
Michigan.
I'm taking Syracuse.
Michigan.
Michigan Final Four
Michigan.
team.
There's no way.
Michigan.
Denver. Give me Denver.
Alrighty, good
Biased.
parody.
Dude, Denver. Michigan went to the Final Four. Bottom right. Virginia, St. Joe's, Hopkins, Lehigh.
Hopkins. It's going to be a Big Ten Final Four. Dominance.
St. Joe's.
This one's so tough because I think St. Joe's could beat UVA and Lehigh beat Hopkins, but I'm going to go Hopkins.
Lehigh.
You're not going to pick Virginia? I might change my pick to Virginia.
No, you can't. You
Okay,
pick
fine,
St.
fine.
Joe's.
I'll go St.
So
Joe's.
you got to ride with it.
St. Joe's.
You gotta stop breathing into the microphone that loud too. I can hear you from Kingdom Come. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please enjoy the games this weekend, and thanks to Coach Chris Bates for joining the show. So cool to talk to him about the draft. Fired up for more lacrosse. Make sure to like and follow the pod.
Holden getting underneath. Maltz. Great catch by Bernhardt. Score!